What's up? This is Boxing Wave. I'm here to do a prediction video on Mike Alvarado versus Ruslan Provodnikov. Up to this point, I think this is going to be the hardest fight to do a prediction for. Even harder than Matisse versus Garcia. I'm really not that confident on who to pick for this fight. I did come with a decision and actually changed my decision last minute, but I had to watch a lot of videos. I had to do a lot of study for this fight in order to do this prediction. First, I'm going to talk about Ruslan Provodnikov. He is coming off of a loss against Timothy Bradley, which was, in my opinion, fight of the year. He looked very, very impressive that fight. A lot of people just saw him for the first time against Bradley, never heard of him, and he went in there and literally beat the hell out of Timothy Bradley. Bradley still won because he smartened up and realized that he had to outbox this kid to win, which he did. But Provodnikov knocked him down early in the fight. He had him out on his feet most of the fight, and even in the last round, I think he knocked him down again. So Provodnikov has some serious power. The only problem is he has probably the worst defense in boxing right now. His defense is terrible. He uses his face for his defense. He has no kind of boxing IQ whatsoever. He just wants to go in there and try to knock you out. Doesn't really use combinations much. Doesn't have any footwork like that. You know, but he's really excited to watch, just like many other brawlers in the game. And this is gonna be a good fight. This might be one of the fights of the year, like probably like top 3, top 5 brawling fights. You know, this is gonna be like Brandon Rios, Mike Alvarado all over again. So Provodnikov also has a loss against Mauricio Herrera, which I'm gonna speak about later in this video. So let me get into Mike Alvarado, who's coming off 2 fights against Brandon Rios. He lost the first fight and he won the second fight. The first fight was stopped by TKO in the 6th round. It was really, really close up to that point. Pretty much both fights had the same, you know, they both were going at the same pace. The only thing is the fight was stopped in the 6th round. I thought it was a good stoppage. Mike Alvarado was getting hit a lot with hard shots without hitting back. He was just trying to evade Brandon Rios for a little bit, and the ref jumped in and stopped the fight. Now, me personally, this is what I feel. I don't think Mike Alvarado would have got knocked down, okay? I think he was out a little bit, but, you know, he was just trying to evade Brandon Rios, and if the end of the round was a little bit closer, the fight probably wouldn't have been stopped, and it would have went on. And you know what? Who knows who could have won that fight? Because Brandon Rios had him hurt in the second round. I mean, in the second fight as well, early in the fight. And you know, the fight kept going, and Mike Alvarado was busted up pretty bad, even in the second fight, and he won the fight. You know, he won it by points. He dominated most of the rounds. So who knows who could have won that fight? You know what I'm saying? It was a good fight. Brandon Rios did his thing. They both did their thing. But, you know, a lot of people say in the second fight, Mike Alvarado outboxed him a little bit more, which I think he did. But people are taking it a little too far by saying that, you know, he used more of his boxing skills the second fight to win. And, you know, I really just think, me personally, I think he was standing right in front of Mike the whole fight too. You know, he tried to start off jabbing and moving around the ring. That didn't really work. You know, as soon as he got hurt, he went right back in the pocket and started brawling and banging back and forth with Brandon Rios. Only thing is, he has a tough chin. You know, he didn't get knocked down or nothing. So I think later in the rounds, Brandon Rios started looking a little tired. And I think he lost because of that, because Mike Alvarado doesn't get tired. You know, he just stands there. He's seen his fight with Prescott. Check out his fight against Prescott, and also check out his fight with Mauricio Herrera as well, because they both, him and Provodnikov, both fought the same guy, Mauricio Herrera. Check out both of those fights, and it might change your opinion, which it did with me, on who you think is going to win this fight. Now, speaking on Herrera, Provodnikov fought Herrera and lost. That was his first loss before Timothy Bradley. He was not undefeated before Timothy Bradley. He lost to Herrera by decision. A lot of people think he got robbed that fight. I don't know. It was a pretty close fight. You know, Herrera doesn't have any power, but he used his jab. He has a good jab and used it throughout the whole fight. And it was pretty easy to hit Provodnikov because, like I said earlier, Provodnikov has no defense at all. He doesn't really use his combinations neither. He'll try to land one punch and he'll try to knock you out with that one hook or whatever. He doesn't really work on his combinations at all. And he does have that one punch knockout power, but you know, with some guys, I see that he has a problem with boxers, guys that use their boxing skills and stay on the outside. He has a problem against those type of fighters, and he also has a problem with guys with good chins because he doesn't really throw a high volume of punches, and if he's not able to knock out his opponent, he really doesn't have any other way to win because I mean he could dominate the fight, but by landing the harder shots, but he really doesn't throw a high volume of punches. And if he fights against somebody that's just landing on him every round after round, like Timothy Bradley was, he's gonna lose. So against Herrera, I mean, they gave Herrera the win, but I think, you know, like I said, it could have gone both ways. But Herrera did land a lot of punches on him, so that's why they gave him the win. When Mike Alvarado fought Mauricio Herrera, he dominated most of the fight. You know, he landed his jab. He has a jab as well, you know, and he works on combinations. He might not have that one punch knockout power like Provodnikov has, but he's able to use his combinations and keep working his punches until the person either gets knocked out or he roughs up whoever he fights, and he hits hard as well. So he's just going to keep working and working. That's what he does all fight long, you know. So he pressured Herrera, and Herrera really wasn't, you know, able to use his jab because Mike Alvarado stayed on top of him the whole fight. So with that being said, this is why I came up with my prediction. I think Mike Alvarado is going to win by decision. I think it's going to be a really tough grueling fight. I think it has, like I said, it has potential to be fight of the year as well. I could be wrong. He might get knocked out by Provodnikov. Who knows? Because they're both not the best defensive fighters. But I think Mike Alvarado is a little bit more advanced with his boxing skills. I think he has a good jab, and I think he works off his combinations well, a lot better than Provodnikov does. And this is why I think he's going to win, because I don't think Provodnikov is going to knock him out. I think he has all the power. He can have all the power in the world, but Mike Alvarado is tough. He's tough, and he's going to be landing punches on Provodnikov's face. I give it 2 to 3 rounds of Provodnikov's face is going to be messed up. So, and Mike Alvarado's too. But you know what? He'll get hit, but at least he keeps his hands up. You know, you got to punch through his hands. This guy Provodnikov, he doesn't have his hands up at all. He's, you know, he was fighting with Bradley, sticking his tongue out every time Bradley landing. Like, listen, all right, we know you're tough, and this is why he's not going to get knocked out by Mike. But this fight could stop. I see the fight stopping by either a cut or Mike Alvarado winning by decision. I could be wrong. It's a tough fight to call, but this is the fight. This is my prediction. This is what I'm going with. So, just if you guys want, definitely go check out the ESPN fights. Provodnikov has a lot of ESPN fights. Check out his fights. Check out Mike Alvarado versus Prescott. That was a close fight too. Mike Alvarado was actually losing that fight. So check that fight out. But he knocked him out in the last round. And let me know. Hit me up with comments. Hit me on Twitter at wavy_10. Subscribe to my channel and subscribe to my boy's USA MVP. Can't wait till his video come out because I think he got Provodnikov winning. So we're a little bit in disagreement right now, but I'm taking Alvarado this fight. All right. Thanks. Hit me up.